Get ready. Exercise number 12. Start. The respondent number 3, being an executive officer, cannot issue any orders usurping the judicial function of this court's stop. The Indian Constitution establishes a procedure of law and separation of powers stop. The judiciary alone is vested with the authority to make judicial decisions by adhering to the established procedural practices stop. Any order passed by an executive officer interfering in the judicial functions would be beyond his competence and jurisdiction, leading to violation of principle of separation of power stop. A judicial officer is obligated to decide every dispute in consonance with his will and appraise stop. After nearly 10 months, the respondent number 3 has unjustly facilitated changing the original plank with new timber, which has seriously prejudiced the right of the petitioner who has been condemned unheard stop para. The doctrines of due process of law and procedure established by law ensure fair and just legal proceedings stop. They further ensure coherence and uniformity by graduating oblique guaranteeing that all stakeholders are treated in a similar manner, which strengthens public trust in the justice administration mechanism stop. No citizen can be deprived of his liberty under a procedure which is not responsible, oblique reasonable, fair, or just. Such deprivation would be violative of Article 21 of the Constitution of India stop. The Constitution Bench of Honorable Supreme Court in Gandhi versus Union of India and another 1978 has articulated the protection enshrined under Article 21 of the Constitution of India and has held that Article 21 confers a fundamental right to oblique on every citizen and not to be deprived of his life or liberty except according to the procedure established by law, and such procedure is not merely some semblance of procedure, but such procedure must be reasonable, fair stop. Once the legislature has categorically provided that in administration of criminal justice the adjudicatory powers would vest solely in the judiciary, any other deviation and instruction by the executive in the same is prohibited and would be violative of the constitutional scheme stop para. The power to adjudicate upon matters involving criminal law rests with the courts alone and are subject to fair procedure, which includes four essential components, that is, due notice, opportunity of being heard, impartial and independent form, and orderly procedure stop. The power and scope of the executive magistracy is separate and distinct from that of the judicial magistracy stop. The executive magistrates in India primarily deal with issues of law and order, breach of peace, and prevention of public nuisance, and their role is administrative in nature, dealing with preventive measures, for instance, as provided by Section 151 of CRPC, etc. Stop. The matters which involve the appreciation or shifting of evidence or the formulation of any decision which exposes any person to any punishment or penalty or detention in custody pending investigation oblique inquiry or trial, or would have the effect of sending formulation of any decision which exposes any person to any punishment or penalty subject to the provisions of this code be exercisable by a judicial magistrate, or which are administrative or executive in nature, such as the granting of a license. Stop.